Greetings, ma'am. Our team going to present about the play Final Solution by Mahesh Dattani. Mahesh Dattani is a well-known English playwright, actor and director of India. He is the first playwright in English to be awarded the Sahitya Akademi Award for Final Solution in 1998. The theme of the play Final Solution is to highlight human weakness, selfishness, avarice and opportunism. Woven into the play are the issues of class and communities and the clashes between traditional and modern lifestyle and value systems. The problem of minorities is not confined to only Hindus and Muslims, it eats the peace of any minority community among the majority. Final Solution has a powerful contemporary resonance and it addresses as issue of utmost concern to our society, that is, the issue of communalism. The play presents different shades of the communalist attitude prevalent among Hindus and Muslims in its attempt to underline the stereotypes and glitches influencing the collective sensibility of one community against another. What distinguishes this work from other plays written on the subject is that it is neither sentimental in its appeal nor simplified in its approach.
It advances the objective candor of a social scientist while presenting a mosaic of diverse attitudes towards a religious identity that often plunges the country into inhuman strife. Yet the issue is not moralized, as the demons of communal hatred are located not out in the street, but deep within us. The play moves from the partition to the present day communal riots, and it probes into the religious bigotry by examining the attitudes of three generations of a middle class Gujarati family. Hartika, the grandmother, was obsessed with her father's murder during the partition turmoil and the betrayal by a Muslim friend Zareen. Her son, Ramnik Gandhi, is haunted by the knowledge of his fortunes, which were found on a shop of Zareen's father and were burned down by his kinsmen.
This story is about a family with strong Hindu beliefs. They don't like the idea of their granddaughter Smita dating a Muslim boy. But things get complicated when two Muslim boys, Baban and Javed, need help to escape from an angry group of Hindus. Baban is calm, Javed is not. The family argues all night, but in the end, they decide it is the best to be understanding and forgiving. This story reminds us the conflict happens in India and other places. Final Solution is a powerful play that makes us think about tough life situation.
Since it is an experiment in the time and space and relates to memory, it is a play which involves a lot of introspection on the part of the characters in the play and thus induces similar introspection in the viewers. It is an attempt to experiment with the chorus. It has been used in a style which is called realistic stylization. The chorus represents the conflicts of the characters, thus, the chorus, in essence, is the psychophysical representation of the characters and also provides the audience with the visual images of the characters' conflicts. There is no stereotyped use of the characterization of the chorus because communalism has no face, it is an attitude, and thus it becomes an image of the characters. The sets and properties used in the play are simple. This has been done to accentuate the internal conflicts and subtext of the play. Theatre for Asmita is a method of reflection, understanding, and debating the contemporary socio political issues through the process of the play. And I hope the play will also have a lasting impact on the audience.
Act 1. The play Final Solution opened with Daksha, also known as Hardika, a newly married girl writing in a diary on March 31st, 1948. In her diary, she reflects on her experiences in her new home. She doesn't have good opinions about her in laws. Though India had gained independence, yet she is imprisoned within the four walls of the house. Hardika had a great appreciation for songs by artists like Shamshat Begum and Noor Jahan. She aspires to become a singer like them, but due to her family restrictions, her desires remain unfulfilled. She got a chance to visit a Muslim girl, Sarain, who also had a great taste for the songs of Noor Jahan and Shamshat Begum. In the course of time, they became best friends. The scene shifts to the present in a town in Gujarat, and Hardika is now an old woman. An ideal of the Hindu god is broken down. There are rumors that it is broken down purposely by Muslims. This escalates the tension between Hindus and Muslims, and slogans by mobs of both the communities are heard alternatively. Smita, Hardika's granddaughter, receives a call from her friend Tasneem, who informs her own family might also be aware that a bomb has exploded in her hostel. Smita's father, Ramanik, takes the phone from his daughter and reassures Tasneem's family about her safety and ends the call. As there is a quiet tension outside, Hardika advises her daughter in law Aruna to check doors and windows thoroughly as the dogs have been let loose. Meanwhile, Javed and Bobby, two Muslim boys, are engaged in an argument on the side of the road in a nearby area. Suddenly, some Hindu men come and start asking them questions and also search them. Finding a skull cap in Bobby's pocket, instantly recognize them as Muslims. As they try to kill them, Javed and Bobby run away and the mob chases them. Desperate for refuge, they reach Ramanik's house and knock on the door. Ramanik eventually opens the door and they rush inside, locking it behind them, pleading for their lives. The mob arrives at Ramanik's door, demanding to hand over Javed and Bobby or they will break the door and come in. However, Ramanik refuses to do so. The mob begins to attack the house with stones and sticks and abuse at Ramanik. Aruna does not like Muslims in her house and forces her husband to throw them out. However, Ramanik firmly declines. Ramanik initiates a conversation with Bobby and Javed. Bobby is polite while Javed is quite harsh in the conversation. Ramanik inquires them about their studies and upon learning that Javed is a school dropout, he starts talking bad about him. Smita recognizes both of them as she enters the scene.
Act 2, Aruna asks Smita how she knows both of them. Smita tells that Javed is the brother of Tasneem and Bobby is her fiancé. When Ramnik and Aruna start insulting Smita for knowing them, Smita defends herself boldly by saying there's no harm in that. It is also revealed that Javed does not live with his parents. Ramnik then asks how he can meet his sister. Javed says that unlike them, the Hindus, he loves the people of his community. Aruna got outraged and Javed apologies. Mob throws stones at the house of Ramnik. Javed scolds Ramnik saying, "Those are your people." Ramnik tries to defend himself. He also tells how his grandfather was killed by Muslim mob soon after the partition. Ramnik offers them milk. Javed, being in thoughts, exclaims, "It must feel good being majority. They have full liberty to do whatever they like with them." Javed and Bobby. Ramnik, still sympathetic, exclaims how the conflict started. There were rumors that during the Rath Yatra of Hindus, some Muslims threw stones at the chariots that made the idols of God to fall and break into pieces, and even Pujari was stabbed to death. The event led to the imposition of curfew in their town. Smita comes with pillows for Bobby and Javed. When she asks them to sleep on the floor as they do not have extra space for them, Javed answers, "I'm used to it." At this, Smita starts asking him his real motive behind coming to Amargan. Bobby says that he came in search of a job. Ramnik offers him a job at his cloth shop, but Smita wants her father for doing so. When Ramnik inquires about the matter, she reveals that Javed was hired by the terrorist organization and thus expelled from his house. So she also tells that she came to know about this from Tasneem. Javed condemns her for betraying her friend, as she promised Tasneem that she is not to expose the reality of Javed. Smita acknowledges her mistake and, being speechless, runs away.
Act 3. Ramanik starts asking Javed about his involvement in terrorism in a teasing manner. Javed becomes furious and hurls odd words. Ramanik angrily slaps Javed and Bobby rushes to calm them down. Bobby then tells when they were young, Javed happened to touch a letter of his Hindu neighbor who abused the farmer badly. Javed got angry and after some days threw pieces of beef's meat in his house. That person came to Javed's house and abused him harshly. Telling the story, Bobby had that Ramanik's community is partially responsible for makes him so because prior to that incident, Jawad was the hero of his locality. Bobby and Jawad decide to leave. Ramanik decide to make Jawad accept his job at any cost, threatens them by saying that he will call the police. Jawad first bursts into the loft and then tells that he was ordered to kill the Pujari in the name of jihad.
He reached the chariot and tried to stab Pujari, but the latter begged for mercy and thus he became still. All his passions died and he threw away the knife, but someone else took it and stabbed the Pujari to death. Ramanik is moved and calls Javed brave. Smita comes and apologizes for exposing him. After a while, Aruna also comes and after ensuring that it is safe to go outside, thinks of bringing water. Smita suggests taking the help of Bobby. Aruna, being strict in her religious matters, condemns Smita for such a suggestion and thus both mother and daughter fall into an argument. Smita exposes Aruna's blind faiths and challenges them. Aruna, being astonished for the queer behavior of her daughter, is quite shocked. While in chaos, she goes to take bath. Smita, Bobby and Javed go out to bring water. Through their discussion, it is revealed that Smita and Bobby loved each other, but due to the communal problems, they had to separate. Later, Bobby became the fiancé of Javed's sister Tasnim. All the three friends became frank and start cracking jokes and even throw water on each other. Meanwhile, Hardika, who was memorizing how she was beaten by her husband for visiting Zarain's house as there arose some conflict between the two families, scolds Javed and wishes that like her father, who was killed by Muslims, his sister should also suffer. Ramanik requests her mother not to blame them. When Aruna comes out after taking bath, Bobby unexpectedly goes in the small temple and in spite of denial by Aruna, he respectfully takes the idol in his hands and talks about communal harmony and keeps back in its place. Both of them then go away. A little later, Ramanik tells Hardika how he, his father and his grandfather burned the shop of Zarain's father to buy it at a reduced price in the name of communal hatred, and now he repents for his past deeds. He desires not to visit his shop again, thus the final solution ends without any solutions to these communal issues that have remained in the society since ages.